Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you how to replace your basic throttle cable on your pit bike / dirt bike depending on what brand you have and how your carburetor is built. This one is just a basic straight line straight to the bottom or the top of the carburetor that just basically goes straight to the engine. Tools you will need for this is basically just your simple Phillips head, and if you need to take your side decal off to trace your line a little bit better, if you can't find it, you will need your basic 5mm Allen key. Those two and a fresh throttle line to go into. So to start off, you want to basically unscrew the bottom of your throttle. So right about here, there's two screws that go to the throttle housing, and that basically just runs it straight out, and you just want to unscrew those to get to the inside of the throttle. So I'll be right back as soon as I get that done. Alright, so we have this removed. There's basically just this at the bottom, so will eventually need to be replaced because it looks a little corroded. So we have that at the bottom. We have your basic two screws, and then we have this top piece that needs to be wiggled off, maybe. Alright, so this basically comes straight off, and then you have the plastic notch in there that holds basically the wire in, and then you have your full throttle, which can be removed as soon as you take these two screws out. So this basically just comes freely off. You might want to keep it in the same position that you had, just to make sure that you don't get it, in a certain position that you don't want it to be in. So yeah, after you do that, you can go ahead and either do one of two things. You can either A, go ahead and put this back on the new one and go ahead and put this back in, and then run it straight to the top of the carburetor down here, or you could B, go ahead and take the top of the carburetor off first, just to make sure you don't have any loose things, and then you could go ahead and put the new one on and run it from the top of the carburetor to the side of the throttle. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it off the top of the carburetor just so I can see how to go ahead and put the notch in and everything, and I'll be right back and show you how to do that also. Alright, so basically to take this off and everything, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that first. Basically go ahead and unscrew this from the top of the housing right here, and just take the old wire out. So basically just unscrewing that. So go ahead and get all that done. And then you will, obviously this broke off of the top, that's why it's broken now. And you will be hitting something like this if it is broken off of the top. Just go ahead and remove that and put the new one in, if you can. So basically this is a plastic notch that's in there. You have to take that off. Just remember to put it back in the same way that you took it out, or you will not get it right, basically. Not sure if this is broken or not. I might have to get a new piece. So go ahead and put this in like so. So go ahead and put this into the throttle cable. I do not know how the hell this goes in, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to find that out first, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so after putting the new one in, it is supposed to go in like this. Just hope that you didn't break the top of this, because it is a bitch trying to get those small pieces out of this, and you have a chance of breaking it. This is my first time doing this, so I luckily got it in. It almost broke, but it didn't. So basically you just want to go ahead and put that back on the handlebar, and just go ahead and run it through the bike and to the top of the carburetor, and I'll be right back as soon as I get there. Alright, tip, make sure you get this in the first time, because it is seriously a pain to keep taking this out just because you don't line it up. A little bit of grease helps, like all-purpose grease from anywhere basically, and you really just have to line this up. I should clean this off, but I'm not going to. Just make sure you line this up with the notch and everything, and then make sure you have enough line, because the first time I did not do it right, and I had to take this whole thing off, and it was an extra. It just took more time. So just make sure you get it in the right way, and make sure you line the plastic notch up on the inside, so that you don't get a stuck throttle as soon as you get everything done. I will get right back to you as soon as I get back to the carburetor. Alright, 2 hours later, I finally got this off. I couldn't figure out how to get it off. I kept turning it to the left and it kept getting stuck. Eventually you just have to use a pair of adjustables like this rusty piece of shit. and get them off. So I don't know where to go from here. I'm just gonna run this line through here and through the bottom of it, and go from there, and hopefully get this in, because this is supposed to be a 15-20 minute job, and it just turned into a 2-hour job. So I'll be right back as soon as I get this piece off and the new throttle cable ran through and halfway on, and then I will continue the video. Alright, so it is later that day. I have everything back on. These 2 bolts that connect to the down thing are back on. The engine's still hot because I just ran it for a couple miles just to make sure everything was tightened on and everything. These haven't came off yet. Hopefully they don't come off. They should be tightened down, but I guess on these Chinese brand pit bikes / dirt bikes, they aren't always the best bolts on here. But everything's back on. This is a this notch right here. Once you take this off, there is a little like a slot where you have to line this up with, and once you line it up, you can just screw it back in through the rings that tighten it down, and then everything should be back on. Just make sure your tube bleeds back down here, and just make sure that it's not ripped, or else gas will get into this, and that's not very good. But all in all, it is a really, it's not too hard of an install if you've done it before, but if you haven't done it before, it might be a little harder for you. As you can see, my under frame is dirty, very dirty. Just run the line all the way up to the top, and then everything should be fine. As long as the line's not being pulled, it won't over rev or anything like that, and it shouldn't get stuck. It might need a little grease to it. I recommend putting a little grease in the throttle housing up there, just to make sure that it doesn't get stuck or anything, or rust out or something like that, or have too much friction so that it snaps again like it did on me before. But all in all, it was an alright install. It wasn't too bad, it wasn't too easy, it wasn't too hard. But that is all. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want me to do more dirt bike videos. I plan on getting a GoPro, but I'm not sure yet. If I'm not getting views, I'm not going to get a GoPro, and if people don't like the videos, I'm not going to get a GoPro. So just comment if you want me to get a GoPro, and I will get a GoPro. That's all. Thanks for watching.